Here we are in the heart of Theatrelands. But did you know there's actually 2 Theatrelands? Oh yeah, they're like peas and carrots, like the City of London and the City of Westminster, like Joe Marler and Nick Mohammed. One is the glitz and glamour of the West End. The other is where the affordable, accessible, sustainable and incredible work really happens. OffWestEnd. 20 years ago, this scene was overflowing with talent and potential, but completely disconnected and often undiscovered. Just scattered, underappreciated brilliance with limited pathways to success. 20 years ago, we stepped in to change all that. To fully understand the origins of OffWestEnd Theatre, let's rewind to 1968, when the Theatres Act finally scrapped censorship. Overnight, small rooms across London burst into the sea, basements became studios, pubs became theatres. Suddenly, there was a beating heart of new theatre in the city. The world was a creative's oyster, or cheesesteak. These venues created a theatrical ecosystem for a bold new Britain, albeit without a shared identity. But over the years, the energy fizzled out. The pizzazz was gone. No new venues, fewer shows breaking through into the mainstream. Something had to change. Fast forward to 2006. The birth of the internet presented an exciting opportunity. Enter Sophie Mason and Diana Jervis-Reed with a groundbreaking but simple idea, OffWestEnd.com.
We might take it for granted now, but the idea was to gather every independent theatre into one place so audiences could actually find them, giving a much needed boost to ticket sales. Groundbreaking websites like this existed across the pond, which had clearly established the off-Broadway scene for many years. But here, even the phrase Off-West End was barely even used. OffWestEnd.com's mission was to change all of this, to match our American cousins, to rival them, to beat them even.
This kind of visibility and support could give grassroots theatre in this country the kind of boost that it needed, and maybe kickstart a golden era. But wait, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. With the help of our 4 founding venues, including this one, the Hampstead, we grew to over 40 venues within months. A website and a map might sound simple, but it did something major. It made a scattered scene feel like a unified movement. And we achieved massive results with the help of Dr. Playwright, which funded writers at the beginning of their careers, and also our campaigns with The Guardian, Time Out, and The Evening Standard, which had hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views for OffWestEnd Theatre.
By 2010, a unified destination and umbrella of OffWestEnd has been established, and there were more than 80 venues on the website. The sector was growing and people were paying attention. Although the venues had visibility, those making the work remained unrecognised, and recognition helps grassroots artists sustain careers and achieve success.
The OffWestEnd Theatre Awards were launched to give the same level of celebration and success for London's independent theatre scene as had existed off-Broadway for years. The first award ceremony at Wilton's Music Hall in 2011 set the tone. And now, we're here, Central Hall, Westminster, for the biggest ceremony ever.
Volunteer accesses are the backbone of this operation, seeing shows across the whole map. Breadth over hype, quality over privilege.
Such an amazing organisation to be a part of. OffWestEnd brings so many exciting pieces of theatre and theatre makers to the forefront.
It's amazing that there are so many attributions to Offies in people's credits, which they can then take on for the rest of their career.
Happy birthday, OffWestEnd. Keep going. I think the OffWestEnd is one of the jewels in London's crown.
I think that Offies is doing a absolutely mammoth job of keeping smaller theatres alive and afloat and acknowledged.
I love hearing about things I haven't got to see, and it makes you frustrated that you missed them. But yeah, I think it's just a wonderful thing to be part of.
But these aren't just any awards. By sending 2 assessors to every show, most of whom are industry professionals, the Offies is a peer review and scouting service, venturing off the beaten track to find the next big thing. So one in our first year. Cute. But it worked. After this recognition helped shows grow, extend, and transfer to the West End, like this one, even to the small screen.
It's the most prestigious award out there. It's an honour to be here watching where people go. You know, Baby Reindeer is a classic example, you know, shows that have been celebrated here first. That's really exciting.
OffWestEnd loves doing things first. From having the first website that put us all in one place, to having the first awards for our sector, we have constantly innovated.
In 2015, ceremony costs were spiralling. Running an awards body on a tiny budget isn't glamorous. The solution? More innovation. OffWestEnd piloted the world's first cyber ceremony, long before anyone else was forced online, but we'll get to that later.
In 2018, my predecessor Jeffrey Brown brought back the live ceremony with over 100 venues participating. And he expanded the reach beyond London at festivals all across the UK. Because OffWestEnd isn't just here, it's also here, and even here. So we all know what happened in 2020. That year, OffWestEnd as a representative body really came into its own. We were able to harness the data we had to lobby the government to help our sector get through COVID-19.
And thank you to the OffWestEnd for highlighting the fantastic work of theatres and production companies across London.
But we've done this before. Cyber ceremonies, that's our bag. We created the OnCon, which celebrated work being made in places like this on Zoom across the country, ready for when the beating heart of theatre returned, for when toilet paper returned to the shelves, for when we returned to wearing clothes on the bottom half of our bodies. This year is OffWestEnd's 20th birthday, and as part of that celebration, we're doing a complete overhaul of the entire organisation to make it fit for purpose for the next 20 years. OffWestEnd 2.0. And for the office, that means a complete redo of how the awards work, streamlining into 8 areas of exceptional contribution.
Now, you've introduced a category-less approach to the awards. How does that work? Given the huge breadth of all the theatre work that's been made around London, how do you say that someone's performance in a 50-seat theatre above a pub is better than someone's performance in a show at a subsidised venue like Stratford East or Lyric Hammersmith? So what this does is enable you to go, this was an amazing performance within that context over here, and this was an amazing performance within that context over here, and you can award both of them rather than trying to compete against one another when it's often very difficult to do that.
In 20 years, OffWestEnd has never charged a penny for its core services. And with the cost of living crisis and the impact of COVID, that is putting a real strain on venues, creatives, and us alike. We solve this by pooling our resources and working together as a unit, as OffWestEnd. I might be biased, but I think what OffWestEnd has achieved without a regular, reliable income stream in 20 years is frankly incredible. Imagine what we could achieve if we were properly funded for OffWestEnd 2.0 for the next 20 years of OffWestEnd Theatre. It's very long, it escalates. So, what can you do to get involved? Well, first, go to our website, new.offwestend.com. It's still in beta, but this year we're going to be unveiling so many features that will make it the destination for OffWestEnd Theatre in London. If you're a venue, become a member. Membership starts from just £10 a year. And if you're a production, there's never been a better time to submit to the office. We've seen the stars of tomorrow born OffWestEnd. Today, OffWestEnd covers over 250 venues across Greater London and thousands more at festivals across the UK. That's over 20,000 performances, over 1 million theatregoers per year. This isn't just fringe. This is a living, breathing, interconnected ecosystem. This is London's second Theatreland. This is OffWestEnd. Let's show off.